I would like to pay my respects and acknowledge the Darug Nation as the traditional custodians of the land that I reside. I would like to acknowledge their continuing connection to land, waters, and culture. I would like to pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Within my exploration and analysis of both community-based and literature sources, I have perceived an immensity of new knowledge surrounding Indigenous Australians' relationship and cultural connection to country. ATSI peoples have a profound spiritual connection to the land. For ATSI peoples, country is a lot more than simply a place, and a connection to and caring for country is an essential aspect to Indigenous Australians' life and well-being. The Indigenous philosophy of country differs greatly to how the Western world views land as something that can be owned and used to our advantage, rather than something that we have a relationship with. I have learned to appreciate country as a living entity and a nourishing terrain that provides me with all that I need to survive. I can appreciate this because of the new understanding I have learned. I came across a quote from Reed that states, "The sense of a place, as the phrase suggests, does not indeed emerge from the sense. The land and even the spirit of the place can be experienced kinetically or kinesthetically, as well as visually. If one has been raised in a place, its textures, its sensations, its smells and sounds are recalled. A place can be felt as an extension of the body, especially the walking body passing through and becoming part of the landscape." He further states, "To understand the Aboriginal view that no human being can ever know heart's ease in a foreign land, because in a foreign land there live foreign ancestral spirits." Read 2000, page 13. This video here from ICTV that I found draws on the deep connection to and relationship country.
Yeah, it's where they come from. So yeah, it means a lot to us fellas. Yeah, it's a real healing journey, part of it, and reinterment part that we're doing now is really special. You know, we're getting them straight back into country where they come from. So yeah, it means a lot to us fellas. Yeah, it's a real healing journey, part of it, and points us towards reconciliation, all that kind of stuff that we...
In the video, they state that it's healing and a reconciliation to return the remains of their ancestral spirits to country. Here is an NITV snippet of a documentary I watched. It says, "If we lose our country, we are nothing." The Dreamtime is part of the oral tradition and is only one aspect of the very complex spiritual belief systems of Aboriginal culture. The stories of the dreaming are much more than myths, legends, fables, or parables, and they are definitely not fairy tales made for the amusement of children, as many ignorant non-Indigenous individuals view them as. The dreaming, however, is the oral textbook of the people's accumulated knowledge and wisdom of the people from when time began. MacDonald, 1999. Before consulting community-based research and knowledge regarding dreaming, I had little understanding of what the various purposes of dreaming was. I had some prior knowledge about some Dreamtime stories and knew that it was knowledge passed down to teach younger generations, but I was unaware of the many facets of Indigenous dreaming. One aspect that I have learnt about dreaming is that it is not just about the past, but it's also about the here and now and the future. The NITV documentary, The Art of Aboriginal Australia, has allowed me to see the connection that the dreaming brings to Indigenous Australians and their ancestors. The dreaming outlines how the ancestors created sacred sites and landmarks, and the dreaming allows the spirit of the ancestors to remain in those sites and in the country. And it is through the dreaming and belonging to the land that Indigenous individuals can be connected to their ancestor spirits. I thought that dreaming and Dreamtime stories were the same for all Indigenous Australians and were the same collection of Dreamtime stories that they all share. However, I am now aware that beliefs, stories and laws of the dreaming are individually owned and kept secure by specific members of a language group. Indigenous ceremonies are one of the many ways that Indigenous communities can ensure the continuing survival of dreaming through bringing the Dreamtime to life through ceremonies. The new knowledge that I have gained is that ceremonies are connected to the laws that ancestor spirits made upon creation. The journal article created by the Queensland Studies Authority explained that during creation time, the ancestral spirits made rules and created the law to govern the land, waterways and their people, animal and plant life. Each law connected all elements of life on Earth, and if life on Earth was going to continue, the laws would need to be followed. Ceremonies ensure that vital components of the laws and the dreaming stay intact. They provide a time and place where all people in a language group and community work together to maintain and ensure the ongoing survival of spiritual and cultural beliefs. There are many different ceremonies for a range of different purposes, and music and dance is a central aspect of Indigenous ceremonies. Ceremonies, this here is an example of an Aboriginal ceremony. This is a welcoming ceremony. So you can see that music and dance is involved. Ceremonies and the dreaming are highly interconnected, as ceremonies are used to celebrate the dreaming. The music and dancing at traditional ceremonies help to pass down the rich cultural knowledge that is found within Dreamtime stories. Culture Trip 2020. The songs and dances within different ceremonies are special and sacred and associated with the dreaming. So they're very much linked. And then here is just my connection to curriculum. So I believe that this resource will be great. When you click on it, it's a YouTube video of an animation of the Dreamtime stories Tiddalik the Frog. The first activity is I want students to watch it, and then once they watch the video, I want them to break into smaller yarning circles and complete yarning circles about what they think the Dreamtime story is teaching us. And then for my activity 2 is that I'll invite an Indigenous guest speaker to come into the class and explain to students more about Dreamtime stories. And then I'd want students to write a recount of what new knowledge they have learned. They're my references. Thank you.